Instant Mom follows the life of a woman named Stephanie, who marries a doctor named Charlie and becomes the stepmother of Charlie's 3 children. This all comes as a culture shock to Stephanie since she has never had any kids of her own. Anyways, I've always loved this show, but because it was featured on Nick Mom and Nick at Night, and I was 12 at the time that the show was airing, I couldn't stay up to watch Instant Mom, so I would record it every Thursday night and then watch it when I got back home from school on Friday. Man, the days of cable were something else. Now, what I love about Instant Mom is that first of all, it's funny. I feel like every single character in this show really carries their weight, with my favorite characters being Maggie and the youngest son, Aaron. The show is also very relatable. Many people, myself included, have a step-parent and live in a blended family, and growing up with that kind of background and seeing a show like this when I was the vulnerable age of 12 really helped me a lot. I feel like I resonated with the show because I got to see my family represented on TV, and on top of that, Instant Mom was a show about a black family, which makes it even better. Also, even though this show was intended for a more mature audience than most of Nickelodeon's content, it isn't inappropriate for a 12-year-old to watch. The show is rated PG and it's more like a family sitcom. You know, there's no drugs, no alcohol, no cursing, none of that. Anyways, moving on to the characters. So, I've been watching several shows that Tia Mowry has been working on post Sister Sister. I watched The Game, and I did not like how Tia's character Melanie was acting in that show. But I really like Stephanie's character. Stephanie is very down to earth, and even though she messes up a lot, she always has good intentions. My favorite thing about Stephanie is how she really steps up to the plate as a stepmother. She's actively involved in Gabby, James, and Aaron's lives, and consistently treats them as her own. Now, Charlie Phillips is the father of the family, and I would say he's the straight man of the show. While everybody around him is vibrant and eccentric in their own ways, Charlie's a very serious person. He is what keeps the show grounded. He's also a surgeon, which just adds to like his serious, grounded vibe. But Charlie does have a goofy side to him too. Although most of his jokes come from him responding to the wackiness around him with a witty comment that Michael Boatman delivers so well. Now, Gabby is Charlie and Stephanie's oldest child, and she's played by Sydney Park, who I loved as Little Sydney on That's So Raven. Now, I would say Gabby's a pretty average teenage girl. She argues with her parents about curfews and rules about dating and stuff. She has a sibling rivalry with her brothers, particularly James. She loves hanging out with her best friend Molly, and she's very stylish. But one thing that stands out about Gabby is her relationship with Stephanie. I feel like out of all the kids, Gabby has definitely benefited the most from having Stephanie as a stepmom. Whenever Gabby and Charlie argue, Stephanie acts as a mediator between the two. Also,